So going into that game, we were 14-point underdogs, and the only people that believed in us were the people in the locker room, really. We were playing away in Minnesota, big crowd, a bunch of students there. I had an earlier field goal in the game, 43, which helped my confidence a lot, especially going the same direction. And then we were up by 2 scores, and then next thing you know, it's tied. And I'm like, oh, geez, and then we're driving down the field, and a bunch of my teammates are like, yeah, this is going to come down to you. I was like, thanks, guys. I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
And then the St. John's called a timeout, and I knew they couldn't call another one. So it was either I make it or we go into overtime. So.
All right, hello and welcome to another episode of the My Player Podcast. We have an exciting guest today, and Dominic Bourgeois. Thanks for joining us today, Dominic.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And he is a kicker from Baltimore, Maryland, majoring in business management at Susquehanna University, and really a proven weapon on the special team, the steady presence as an athlete and student there at Susquehanna. We're going to talk about game-winning kicks, building his brand, the mental side of football, that a lot of kickers kind of have to have a next-level mental edge to themselves when they play opposed to some of the other positions. So we'll dive into that and, building his own path as a My Player athlete. So, Dominic, let's just start, kind of from the beginning. What made you want to be a kicker, in high school and then coming on kicking in college?
Yeah, so my whole life I played soccer, as most kickers do, and then my senior year of high school, I was deciding where I wanted to go to school for soccer and stuff like that, and then our kicker at my high school got injured, and our football coach was like, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, so I played 3 games and then fell in love with it, and ever since then, I had 5 coaches come to my school that was it and talked to me. Susquehanna gave me an opportunity to play, and ever since then it was hitting the ground running. So.
Wow, so you're a natural then, only playing starting that late in the game. That's pretty unheard of.
Yeah. A lot of my friends are like, it's so weird seeing you in a football uniform. So.
What was that like? Not playing football, because a lot of the times, right, these athletes are playing football since they're 7, 8 years old. But for you, what was it like, kind of learning the game? I'm sure you watched it and knew the rules and things like that.
Yeah.
But what was it like putting on the pads and getting used to it?
Yeah. So I remember the first time I ever put pads on high school practice, and I was like, I don't even know how to strap these up or anything. Our coach was making fun of me, but I'm still trying to learn a few stuff. But it's a really cool experience, just having the knowledge and still being able to learn every day of something new. So
very cool. Yeah, that's the name of the game. And then now that you're at Susquehanna University, been kicking there, let's walk through kind of your previous seasons there, what it's like kicking at the college level. Take us through maybe a week's worth of practice, a month's worth of practice, what goes into being a kicker at a college.
Yeah, so the last couple of years we've been having good seasons. We were nationally ranked number 4 going into this preseason. So we got here at camp, it's just football and eat and sleep, and it's a grind. It really is. Even as a kicker, a bunch of people say, oh, kickers don't do that much, but you're kicking every day, and you have to be perfect, because at the end of the day, you do only have one job, and you better make sure you do that job good, or someone else is going to be doing it for you. So it's just every day we go out to practice, get all of our steps in, walk through, and making sure all alignment's good and everything we can do to perfect our craft is good. So when the time comes, we're perfected at it. So.
Yeah, perfect segue into kind of one of the next topics I wanted to chat on, but perfecting your craft and, when the opportunity presents itself to be able to capitalize on that, and walk us through the game-winning kick you had last year to the quarterfinals and whatnot. But, yeah, walk us through that, the pressure, what it's like, seeing the offense, drive down the field, and it's like, I'm about to have my number called right up here.
Yeah. So going into that game, we were 14-point underdogs, and the only people that believed in us were the people in the locker room, really. We were playing away in Minnesota, big crowd, a bunch of students there. I had an earlier field goal in the game, 43, which helped my confidence a lot, especially going the same direction. And then we were up by 2 scores, and then next thing you know, it's tied. And I'm like, oh, geez, and then we're driving down the field, and a bunch of my teammates are like, yeah, this is going to come down to you. I was like, thanks, guys. I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
And then the St. John's called a timeout, and I knew they couldn't call another one. So it was either I make it or we go into overtime. So I had all the confidence. It was just like another field goal, you know. I couldn't think anything of it. Just good operation. My teammates did a great job for me blocking and snapping, holding. So just like that, it was just another field goal, really. And I knew my team had my back no matter what.
Yeah, that's huge. And speak to the confidence part of it. Is there, we see kickers sometimes, I forget who it was, I think he was a pro kicker. Like, he had to kick like 5 practice balls before he went out before a kick. Like, do you do anything like that where it's, you have a routine, kind of, I have to do X, Y, and Z before I go kick a kick?
Yeah, I kind of stay on the sideline. I like to be by myself or just with my holder. We'll get in a few reps kicking into the net, just like 2 or 3. And then I'm ready to go. Like, I want to go out on the field. Like, the waiting, like, kills me. Like, when they were driving down the field, I was like, I just wish they were already here. The waiting I hate, but once it's there, it's good. So
yeah, it's it's always interesting to think about, because when you're watching the game, it's like a 2-minute drill, or you got short time on the clock, right? You're always thinking like, okay, the offense on the field, like, here we go, let's get a first down. But then you really think about the kicker on the sideline, just sitting there like, all right, am I going to get called? Are we going to score a touchdown? Are they going to need me? Like, it's very, very nerve-wracking,
exactly,
but you handle it well. So
thank you.
That's good.
We always work on it at practice too, just running from the sideline and 2-minute drills, everything like that. So they were like, we got to be prepared if this happens. So, and it did. So we were good. We were prepared.
Yeah, preparation's key. That's awesome. Good to hear. And we'll look forward to the continued success. We'll talk about the season coming up, but talk to the student athletes out there like yourself, where you got fall camp coming up. You were in summer camp now. School's starting. Have you guys already started school yet?
Yeah, we started yesterday.
Okay, so. You just getting back into it. So talk to us about being an athlete, being a student athlete. You got academics. You're a business management major. Kind of what that entails day to day.
Yeah, so our advisors do a great job, and I'm sure every school does. They try and plan your classes around practice schedule, and if you have a game Saturday where you need to leave Friday, like, they completely understand. They're really there for you, and they know that your schedule is just as busy as theirs, and you may have to have an extension or anything like that just because you have so many classes, practice every day, meetings, everything like that. And you really have to be really focused and just strict on yourself to make sure you get the job done, because you can fall behind. It's really easy to fall behind in class. So you just have to make sure you're on top of things, and there's always people there to help you. Like, no matter, you can talk to your coaches, advisor, teacher, like, they're there for you, and they know that you have a busy schedule. So you just stay on top of things, and it'll work out.
Well said. And it's important kind of mental spot to be in, right? Having that dialed in and ready to rock and roll. And speaking to the broader point of NIL, athletic branding, building your own brand, and things like that, you're at a D3 school. It's a little different, right? Where we see different revenue sharings in Division 1, but Division 3. Talk to us about kind of what NIL looks like, what building a brand looks like as a Division 3 athlete.
Yeah, of course at Division 3 we don't have millions of dollars given to us or anything like that, but I think a lot of it is just because we love the game, and we don't do it for the money, like, at all. We get some stuff, but we don't get paid like that or anything like that. So I think it really shows you, like, how many people actually care for the sport and love playing the sport no matter what, just to be out there on the field with 100 guys and that you can call your brothers and know that you'll go to war with them no matter what.
Well said. Beautiful there. And what's it, as you've recently collabed with My Player, what was that like, getting you on merch, creating that? What was the process like?
Yeah, it was cool. I remember my mom was, like, super excited, and she was, like, wearing the shirt all around and everything like that, and, like, a bunch of my mom's friends and my family, like, bought it. It was really cool to see, like, at a smaller school like Susquehanna and being number 4 in the country, it was cool to see, like, myself on a shirt and, like, people wearing it, like, proudly and knowing I'm doing a good job. So, yeah.
Perfect. And you have it's kind of a on your toes type of question. Do you have a favorite piece of merch or hat or mug or shirt or design that you like the most?
Just probably one of the T-shirts where I'm kicking, because I specifically chose the kick where I was kicking off at the St. John's game.
Okay.
And that was probably one of my favorite uniform combos as well, like the white on the orange. So it looks really clean. So.
Perfect. We'll get those popped up and And obviously the listeners and whatnot will have the links and everything dialed in. But a few more questions here for you, Dominic. And as we kind of wrap up with some rapid-fire questions, we'll kind of start off with the first one here. If you had a walk-up song, as in baseball, they walk up to the plate. If you had a walk-up song before a kick or before a kickoff, what would it be?
It would probably have to be Skrilla by Kodak Black. That's
okay.
I have like a really weird routine where that's the only song I listen to like the last hour before we like go kick off, like just on repeat. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why, but it's just on repeat and helps me stay locked in. Okay. All my friends make fun of me. They're like, "Can you change the song?" I'm like, "No." So
that's awesome. I like to hear that. I'm sure you've got the beat, the music, the lyrics, everything just dialed in. So that's good. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then if you have a hidden talent outside of football, what would it be?
I taught myself how to play the piano.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
YouTube videos, or you just
I just watched YouTube videos, and it was like easy piano tutorial, and I went from there.
Okay, so. I like it. Impressive. What's do you have a favorite song? Are you still learning?
I'm still learning.
Still learning? Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. It's good skill to have. I'm sure it's good with the hand-eye coordination and things. So
yeah.
That's good to hear. Do you have a favorite college or pro kicker that you try to model your game after?
Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboys, especially him being the #1 pick for soccer in the MLS, and then switching. Like, he's just an inspiration to a bunch of people, and he's a great guy like off the field, and it just shows you like it's never too late to do anything. Like, he was determined and worked hard, and now he's one of the best kickers in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. Well, and especially for you, right? As you said, the soccer player turned professional kicker, and just drill it especially with his kick. It seems so much. I don't even know what word is, like laid back and casual.
Yeah.
Kicks.
You don't.
Very little. It's very fluid.
Yeah, it's just smooth. Like, he doesn't try and like swing as hard as he can. Mm-hmm. It's weird. So.
As you're going to kick, do you have a preferred hash, middle, left, right hash, or is it just I can kick from anywhere?
I prefer the middle, but I can kick from anywhere, so it doesn't matter to me. Just get out on the field and let's get it over with and make the kick.
Just let it rip.
Yeah. So.
Perfect. And then is a question that I think is fun to ask is, would you rather hit a game-winning kick at home as time expires or away as time expires?
I think away, just because I experienced that last year and it felt great. Like, we had a chartered plane on the way home and everything, and from the time we left the field to the time we got back and the next day, it was just so rewarding and refreshing knowing that we went in there and walk in your trap, take over your trap, as everybody was saying. That's what the whole motto was the whole time. So, yeah, it was great.
And then as you guys got, games are coming up here in a few weeks here, what's the outlook for the season? How do you feel about the season, before it kicks off here?
Yeah, I think we're going into the season really confident. We lost a lot of fifth years and seniors last year. That just means it's an opportunity for the guys to step up this year who might have not had a big role last year. And from what I've seen at camp and a few scrimmages, we've been dominating, which is good. So I think all the guys that needed to step up and the returners that are coming back from last year, our running back, our quarterback, a bunch of defensive guys, they're ready to go again because they know what we're capable of and what we did last year. So
perfect. And then as we close here, Dominic, I'll kind of ask you a broad question, but maybe you can shed some light to the future. Soccer players turned football players, but what's kind of your advice to those athletes just getting it started in football, or someone who's been playing their whole life?
Yeah, I'd just say stick with it. You never know who's watching, when you'll be called. Like, you never know. Like, there's just so many people out there that need certain people to do certain things on the field, off the field, whether it's job related, sports related, college related. Like, just keep pushing through with whatever you're going with and have confidence in yourself.
Well said. That's a great way to wrap up the episode here, Dominic. We appreciate you joining the show and talking about your journey and the future football season and your success, and we're excited to follow along. And as we conclude, make sure to like and subscribe and follow Dominic as he continues to on his football journey. And before we go, Dominic, where can the listeners and followers find you on the socials or whatnot?
Yeah, my Instagram's just my name, Dominic Bourgeois. same thing with Twitter, but Instagram's just the main thing. So.
Perfect. Well, if you're hearing this, make sure to go buy his merch. We'll have the links in the description. I'm sure he's got it on his stuff. So go buy that while the items are hot and the football season is right around the corner. So thanks again for joining us today,
Yes,
Dominic, and we're looking forward to watch your season.
Thank you.